Hi, it's Marcus Brown here. Today we're going to be doing one lesson out of a series of lessons I'll be doing, like the misinterpretation of scriptures. There are quite a few misinterpretations of scriptures that I hear just commonly used among many, even well-known preachers all on TV, and it's just around the Christian community. But one of them today we're going to deal with is we're going to be talking about the thief. And the scripture that I'm going to use today is John 10:10. And I hear so many times people say that the devil, he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Now, that sounds good because it sounds like that old nasty devil. The devil, he's just old nasty guy, and he come to steal, kill, and destroy. So by no means am I taking up for the devil, because I know the devil is our enemy. But another enemy that we have sometimes is not the devil, because he can do nothing from the outside of us. Sometimes we do it to ourselves. And one of the ways we do it to ourselves is by receiving errant teaching and flawed doctrine. And sometimes if you take an interpretation, if it's already off, and you go on and try and interpret that misinterpretation, you just lead down another road of more misinterpretation. Well, today we'll talk about the book of John, verse 10. Chapter 10, verse 10, John 10:10, where it talks about the thief that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And we'll start with the entire scripture, because many people take the scriptures, just use one verse, and then they try and make a teaching or a doctrine out of it. And most of us have never heard scripture in context. And what I mean by context is it's like who's saying it, who they're saying it to, why they said it, where they were when they said it, trying to get the real understanding of what was being said. All words are a form of communication. Like I'm talking to you now, and I'm hoping that you get a direct understanding of what this scripture means. So every word that you have, every conversation, all these things that are written, they have an intent. The intent is that you understand what is sent to the writer. Now, Jesus is talking here in verse 1 of John 10:10. It says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber." Now, he's qualifying what makes somebody a thief and a robber, because they breaking in. He said that he's the door. He said, if you enter not by the door into the sheepfold. Now, he didn't say he's a door yet, but he said, if you try and enter into the door any other kind of way, that's like breaking into somebody's house. Say you're a thief and a robber. I don't care how you try and break into God's mercy and his grace, into his body. If you don't come in by the door, you are a thief and a robber. He said, but verse 2 said, but he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. Say now, wow. He said, now if you come in through the door, say then you may be qualified to be shepherd of the sheep. Say to him who's the shepherd, the porter, and the sheep heareth his voice, and calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And the stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. Now, verse 6, it says, this parable, or this lesson, or this little mystery, this little story, Jesus spoke unto them, but they did not understand what things they were which he spoke unto them. Then Jesus said unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. Jesus said, wait a minute, I'm the door. Wow. If you come in any other kind of way, instead of coming through me, this is what Jesus saying, he's the door. If you come in, try to come in through your denomination, through your bishop, your pastor, through the choir, through Moses, through any of the Old Testament, anything ever happened, because he said, then you coming in like a thief, you breaking in. He said, in verse 7, then said Jesus unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers. That's Moses, that's everybody, that's me, your pastor. See, before him, not saying necessarily in time, but if you try and come before you try and go to anybody else or any other way before you go through Jesus, then you're crazy. Then you are going to come like a thief. Now, literally, he was talking about the people that came before him, because the Pharisees tried to figure they had right standing with God through other means and other people from the past. But we can broaden this in the understanding. If you go to anybody, try and come to Christ any other kind of way before stopping by Jesus, then you have a problem. Verse 9 says, I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved. If you can come in through Jesus, you will be saved. And shall go out in, you should go in and out and find pasture. Verse 10, the thief cometh not. Only reason the thief cometh is for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And this I'm gonna read it so I don't want to put it in my words, but I'll try and do it where you understand it. But let's read it right out of the King James. That's where I am. Say, verse 10 says, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. Jesus said, I am come that they may have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. Now, we can take a whole nother teaching on that part, but we're not going to do that today. Only thing we're going to talk about today is just the difference between the scripture never says the devil came to kill, steal, and destroy. He says the thief, and we already told you what qualified what Jesus was meaning about the thief. One thing we want to do, we want to make sure that we cleared it up clearly before we try to deal with any other thing, was that the scripture never says the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. The scripture says the thief comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And we want to be able to take the scripture in context. We're not splitting hairs, but if we're going to get a great understanding, if we're going to serve the Lord our God with all our strength, with all our mind, we got an understanding. We're going to really serve, and we're going to be able to teach actually what's right. And we'll find later in other series that when misinterpreted scriptures are there, then you get misinterpreted doctrine. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.